about some of the things that are already going on. We are not starting from scratch. So this is a big vision that Bruce described, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that are already going on at USA.gov and across the government that are innovations that is a place to start from, and showing that there are tools available to help with transparency and public engagement and collaboration. So as Darlene said, USA.gov is the official web portal into the government. You can get to federal, state, local, and tribal government from there. This is the home page with a box that we put on recently that says More Government 2.0. There's a lot of Web 2.0 things throughout USA.gov, but we put this up to show some of the newest things we're doing. And it includes a government news aggregator, I'm going to talk about in a second, a government gadget gallery, a government blog library, USA Word Cloud, and some other tools. So the government news aggregator is one example I wanted to show you because it shows the power of what can happen when the government puts data out in formats that other people can reuse. And so the agencies have for a long time been putting things out in RSS feeds, not just press releases, but many things of interest to the public. So at USA.gov, we took a look at all the RSS feeds coming out and decided to aggregate them at USA.gov. We used a software as a service newsgator to do this. As you can see on the left side of the website, we've divided it by topic. Many things we do on USA.gov we divide by topic. Our research has shown over the last 8 years the public does not know how the government's organized. They don't want to know, and they don't should know. So we do a lot of things by topic. But we take that news aggregator and we have created a widget out of it so that people can take the widget, and we put the widget on USA.gov so the top 3 stories are always showing there, and as it changes in the news aggregator, they change there. But other people can take that widget and put it on their personal websites if they use iGoogle or MyYahoo or something like that, but they can also put it on their public websites and embed it, and as we change it at USA.gov, it'll change where they are. We did the same thing with gadgets, or also known as widgets. Throughout the government, people have been creating widgets so that other people can use them. And again, we put them by topic. And I want to show you one section, and that's on the public safety gadgets. Here's examples of some of the gadgets at the federal level. The second from the bottom is the FBI's top 10 wanted list. And so you can take that gadget and put it on your personal page, or if you're the post office site, you can put it on your website. If you're a local police department, you can. And as all gadgets work, when the FBI updates the information, it automatically updates wherever it is. Again, showing the power of what happens when you put data out in formats people can use it. You can go to USA.gov and learn about some of the other things that we're doing on USA.gov and across the government and Government 2.0. It's hard to talk about all the innovative things in government in the 8 minutes that I've given on this panel, so I really want to show you a few resources. This page on USA.gov will tell you about not only the blog that we do at USA.gov, which is called GovGab, but also there are 39 other blogs in federal agencies in the executive branch. This is in addition to the congressional blogs. And they range from anything, a secretarial blog, Janet Napolitano, Department of Homeland Security, to 5 staffers at the Transportation Security Administration writing a blog. So if you want to learn more about that, there are many blogs to take a look at where the public is commenting on the blogs. We're also doing, we're on Twitter, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. We also have web chat at USA.gov. We've had that for over a year now. We're open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to people who have online chats. And this was an extension of what we were already doing through, we have an FAQ knowledge base that you can get to from USA.gov. And that same FAQ database, people who are answering the phone at 1-800-FED-INFO or answering the email on USA.gov, they're using that same database the public uses. And it was just an extension of that to open up web chat. And the people on the government side doing the chat are using that same database. I want to talk a little bit about Twitter. And when you hear about Twitter, for those of you who don't know, it's a microblogging site that you have 140 characters to say what you want to say. It's called tweeting when you write something on Twitter. It sounds perfectly silly until you start using it and realizing how powerful it really can be. So we opened up a USA.gov presence on Twitter. We have frequently, but it's updated mostly automatically through our RSS feeds. Not only our blog RSS feed, but our news and our frequently asked questions RSS feeds. So it changes a lot, and we can get government information out through it. But we also use it when we have special messages we want to send out. And we used it during the inauguration. During the transition, I was watching change.gov all the time to see what they were doing on change.gov to get an idea of what might happen on the new whitehouse.gov site and what we would be expected to do in the federal web space. And one Sunday I was looking at it and I saw a new feature that said apply for press credentials. So I clicked on it to see how they were doing that, and I saw that it said, we're not only interested in traditional media, we want bloggers to apply for press credentials too. So I thought, we're bloggers, they're talking about us. I'm going to take a chance, and I applied for press credentials for our bloggers. And the second field that I had to fill out was, what's your reach, how many readers? I thought, well, we have 116 million visits to USA.gov last year, maybe we have a chance. Well, sure enough, a couple weeks later, we got 5 credentials to 5 different inaugural events, including inaugural balls and the swearing-in ceremony, the concert on the National Mall. And it really shows that there's looking at the government in a whole new way. We're not just giving stories to the media in the way, we are the new media, and we're getting stories out that way. So we had people at the events twittering, and we also wrote stories for our blog, GovGab, from the different events. And we had flip video cameras, we were taking video, we had digital cameras, and so the 5 people, we gave them Twitter lessons if they hadn't used Twitter before, just a couple days before. We taught them how to use flip videos, and they went out. And it was very, very successful in terms of the number of people that subscribed to our blog and subscribed to the Twitter feed. In addition to USA.gov, we have Gobierno USA.gov, the Spanish portal, and one of our staff went to the Latino inaugural ball. We're experimenting in Facebook, seeing if there's a business case for getting government information out through Facebook, and many agencies are doing this. I think there is a business case to use the event feature, the fan feature, as yet another way to get out government information. Bruce mentioned the policy impediments to using some of the new technologies. One of the big ones is the legal framework of the terms of service for these free services. When you go on to use YouTube, for example, you have to agree to the terms of service and you check a box. We all do that without reading it usually. Millions of people around the world are using YouTube and they've checked that box. But when you really read the language coming from a federal organization, there's a lot of things in there that cause problems to the federal government, including an indemnification clause, choice of law, place of law. So we've been working at GSA and with GSA Council and White House Council on working with these providers to come up with terms of service that work for the government. And we've finished agreements with YouTube, Flickr. We just finished Flip TV this past Friday, and we're working with others so that at least when agencies decide there's a business case to use these tools, they have a legal document that they can use as well. Darlene mentioned that I'm the executive sponsor of the 1,500-person Web Managers Forum, which is federal, state, and local web content managers. We created this professional networking site for them. It's very Facebook-like in terms of people having profiles with photos and what their skills are and where they've worked. We couldn't use Facebook because of another policy impediment. Many agencies block use of Facebook from within the government. GSA does not, but some agencies do, and they give various reasons for doing it, which we could argue for a long time about. But so we offer this service to the web managers. And just finally, I wanted to point out the website webcontent.gov, which is also done in my office. It's open to the public, but it's geared towards government web managers to show them the requirement of government websites, but also the best practices. This is the social media section of that site, and it really goes into detail on blogs, virtual worlds, wikis, podcasts, etc., to say, here's what's happening around the government, here's the issues to think about if you want to do this, and so if you want to learn more, go to webcontent.gov. With that, I turn it back.